In the military, we give medals to those that are willing to sacrifice themselves so others may gain. Each time they are asked why they committed their acts of valor, the response is always the same. They would have done it for me. In business, we give bonuses to people who are willing to sacrifice others so they may gain. Similarly, when asked, the response was, they would have done it to me. What does this say? Our environment is key. If you get the environment right, every single one of us has the capacity of doing wonderful things. As many of us have heard, the tone is set at the top. For leadership, that is not always necessarily the case. Leadership is a choice. It is not a rank. Leaders look out for those not only below them, but to the left of them, to the right of them, and as well as above. In one of our classes, Jacques brought up his perspective on leadership. Title does not make you a leader, rather how you act does. Senior leaders have authority, but some do not have leadership. We do what they say because they have authority over us, but we would not follow them. This, by definition, is transactional leadership in organizational psychology. Although leadership is a choice, the decisions that higher-ranking colleagues make can help facilitate an environment to be fruitful of ideas, lead to higher motivation and innovation, or conversely, stifle and constrain a group's advancement and critical thinking. As a leader, you're in a position of power and have the ability to shape whether your team feels psychologically safe. Now, what does that term mean, psychologically safe? In 1995, a Harvard graduate named Amy Edmondson wanted to find out what made hospital teams more effective. She assumed that top-performing teams would report the fewest errors. Her research found the exact opposite to be true. Top teams reported the most errors. The key takeaway, though, was that the top-performing teams weren't actually making more mistakes, but were admitting to making mistakes more often. Low-performing teams are likely to punish and hide errors. When something goes wrong, they sweep it under the rug and don't address it. On great teams, people feel safe to admit mistakes, ask questions, and disagree with each other. This ultimately pushes teams to learn and improve. Edmondson's theory goes on to state that there are three key pillars to psychological safety. Number one, being vulnerability, and it not being held against you. The fear of judgment gets in the way of true collaboration. Number two, every collaboration is being valuable. Whether people value and respect what their colleagues bring to the team and whether that feeling is mutual. When people don't feel mutual respect, they are less likely to be vulnerable. And lastly, number three, learning is the ultimate goal. Not just constantly succeeding, but focusing on continually improving. Taking a learning mindset helps people be more comfortable with failure. Leaders help set tone. By pushing your team to voice ideas and setting low stakes for failure, team members will value everyone's contribution. By making everyone feel safe and be willing to sacrifice their comforts and results at times, losing the battle to win the war, so to speak, remarkable things can happen. When you choose to sacrifice so your people may feel safe and protected, they will ultimately gain. The natural response in return is that people are willing to sacrifice so you and the organization can gain. Doesn't that sound like an environment we would all like to be a part of? Thank you.